Hey Libras, and welcome to your November 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. And how does it feel? How does it feel for Jupiter to have left your sign and for that major life transit to be over? I feel like a lot of you are taking a big exhale, a big sigh of relief, and it is well deserved because you guys have been so activated for the last year and so many new things have happened. And I want you guys to just take a minute, as you guys have also just celebrated your birthdays in the end of September and in October. And I want you guys to take a minute and think, okay, what happened to me in the last year? What really amazing happened to me in the last year? Like, I'm seriously, just like write it down. Make a big notebook page and like get a Sharpie out and write it down. Like tally it all up. You should have like a bunch of bullet points. And I want you to come back to this video and I want you to explain to me of why that's blank. Or why why is the first thing that's coming to your mind something negative? Now, this isn't all of you. In fact, a lot of Libras are very optimistic right now, and a lot of Libras have had amazing experiences, obviously. But you know, make that list. Make that list. What really amazing as a Libra happened to me during the last year? Go through every month. Go through every week. Go through every day if you want. Look back at old pictures. Look back at your life as it came to be throughout the last year. And find the blessings, even behind the difficult experiences. As that sometimes happens with Jupiter, sometimes what can seem to be like a difficult experience can really be the biggest blessing because it changes your life path or alters your motivation in life in a way that puts you onto the path that you need to be on. How, Libra, can you see that? How, Libra, can you make that obvious to yourself, okay? Right. So now that you've done that, now that you have made a list of what went well, now that you have perhaps seen some of the difficult experiences and how they have positively benefited you. What did you not expect to see there? Because this is the most groundbreaking thing with Libra right now, I feel, is you trick yourself. You trick yourself. You tend to think that maybe really good things are really bad, or really bad things are really good. And why is that? Because you're Libra, you're the scales. And a really big curse that I feel that Libra has inherited is the need to see things from every perspective, in the sense that you can, even like if you were victimized or abused by somebody or attacked or robbed or something, it's almost like you can see perspective of the robber or your assailant and think, yeah, I understand why they did that. That's okay. Okay, Libra, time to become more decisive. As Jupiter was in Libra, and it should have given you something to really be decisive with. Because, you know, moving into November, before I really talk a lot about these energies, you have to be able to see things for you. You have to be able to see things for you and not for other people, not for other energies, not for the collective, not for who you want to be married to or who you want to experience in bed or who you want to experience, what you want to experience. It's not about that in November, Libras. And it's really not been about that in the last year, but a lot of you have like made it about that, as Jupiter is a very cultural experience. It's very much like the grandeur of life and a sort of circle of life experience. Like things probably feel very full circle to a lot of you right now. And it will be a wonderful time to really understand reality. Jupiter is moving into Scorpio, and it sort of becomes more of a self-focused type of energy, in the sense that no longer do you need to see the perspectives of all the antagonists in your life. No longer do you need to understand every side of a situation. Now you can see into yourself, and through seeing yourself, through seeing your reactions, your emotional complex relating to other experiences of life, through that you can see everything. You can see what you need to see. Because Libra, throughout the last year, you've had the experience where you needed to see the collective, and now you need to use that to motivate your life and no longer really see everybody else's perspectives in the same way, because you don't really need to deviate much more from the path. Now, for some of you, that's not the best advice, because some of you still haven't had the deviation yet. Some of you still haven't had the big change or the big shift in path, but most of you have. So for those of you who haven't, like, you still have a little bit of wiggle room there. But for those of you who, like, over the last year completely changed your life or completely changed life paths, it's like you can kind of do it a little bit one more time if you need to, just to get out of the energy. But there's got to be some like focus, some like, okay, I know what I want and I'm going to fill in the gaps now. Because I think the worst case scenario right now for Libra is to be so activated and invested in different opportunities in different places that you never really excel in any one of them. So that might be a little bit harsh to say, but it's just sort of what you're dealing with. And a lot of you who have really used this Jupiter energy in a positive way to be up and coming and to sort of explode onto the scene, that I feel like you'll really do in 2019. For those of you who are already on the path, wonderful. And a lot of you are there. But This reading is very much catering to some of the Libras who might not quite be there, because, if you have everything, why are you watching a tarot reading? You don't really need someone to validate for you that you have everything perfect in life, right? So I tend to acknowledge that most of my audience has something going on in their life that they're quite frantic or upset about, perhaps. Not everyone, but I do try to read for that and to cater for that, because it's usually the energy that I feel most strongly when I read. But November is a month where you will see things for what they are. November is a month where you're going to need some time to recharge. November is a month where you'll get new confidence in a new way, as well as build new things. But it's all sort of wrapped in a basket of feeling taken advantage of, or feeling cheated by life in some kind of way, cheated by someone, cheated on. All of those types of things do come forward in November. So anyway, I want to go ahead and get into the week to week and talk more specifically about what may be coming forward for you guys. Week number 1, Six of Wands, rooted down by 8 of Pentacles. I almost said 6 of Swords, and I find those cards so similar. They look so similar to me, but they're complete opposite energies. So definitely thinking about 6 of Swords as well. Thinking about the difference between painful transitions and solid, stable confidence and happiness. Like, what's the connecting dot there for you, Libras? Are you sort of really bouncing between oh my God, I hate where I live, I hate where I am, I hate my life path, and then the next day you're like, oh, I just got paid, and I'm sporting my new car, my new money, and my new all this, and I'm just so happy to be in it now that I've gotten paid type of energy. It feels like there's a lot of polarity in your fulfillment towards what you're doing with life. That being rooted down by 8 of Pentacles is furthermore a validation of that. It's like it takes so much work. And neither of those are reversed. So on one side of things, a lot of you are maybe starting your own business, or finally able to get out of what was really holding you back in the sense of your career, in the sense of your accomplishments, and you're finally able to really jump into that. Some of you need to make that jump, though. Some of you need to cross that bridge, I want to say, because 6 cards are always transition cards and cards of movement, cards of changing locations. So I feel like a lot of you might be changing employment. 8 of Pentacles is about employment, apprenticeships, internships, anything that's very busy. Sometimes 8 of Pentacles is not paid so well, but it's really fulfilling work, and it's also very hard work. So do think about that in the first week. Are you getting compensated enough for what you're doing? Do you need a change in scenery? All of that will be really good to think about during this time. But it will also be good to be confident. No more sad Libra, as I feel that Jupiter taught you how to do that, and maybe you've been the happiest. And that's something else that I feel is, and why I wanted you guys to make a list of what went well during the last year, because it's you can't quite realize it unless you really put it out there, because Libra's mind is all over the place. You're so logically gifted, and you can multitask generally so well that your head will be oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is good, this is good, this is wonderful, this is terrible, this hurt me, this made me feel amazing, and it tends to get all skewed and all kind of integrated in a weird way. So really take that out of your mind, make a list, separate it all, and it feels like maybe that will help you to be more confident and help you to actually understand what you want, because it won't get tied into other perspectives. Maybe I hate my job, but my boss loves me, so that means that I love my job, right? Things like that Libra struggles with. Or maybe I really love this relationship and I really love this person that I'm with, and I want to marry them and I want to be with them forever, but they really don't like me and I think they're cheating on me, which means that I don't like them, type of thing. Like really allowing other people's perspectives to generate your reality. Careful with that type of thing, Libra. You have to create your own reality in this type of energy. The second week, you guys have the Sun rooted down by Ace of Swords. There's a lot of different messages coming forward there. It's not terrible, but I feel like a lot of you are getting good ideas by difficult experiences. Like allowing difficult experiences to make your spectrum for what is good. Like being in work or being in your career and thinking, okay, I've had this really difficult experience with my coworkers, or I'm not getting paid nearly enough for what I do. All of a sudden, I now have an idea of how to make my own business successful because I wasn't paid well enough, because I wasn't supplemented or wasn't supported by coworkers. It's like, without the damage, you're not having a lot of motivation for what to do right. If that makes sense, it's like, and for Libras who have like really come into happy places, and one of the reasons why this Jupiter transit may have been more difficult on Libras than a lot of other signs is because it gave you good circumstances. And all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, I don't have anything bad to base my energy off of. I don't have anything bad to do. Now I don't do anything. Now I don't feel anything. Now I just sort of exist. And that's freaky to Libra. Like that's because Libra is inanimate. Libra is not real. So it sort of feels like disconnected emotionally. Sometimes it's an air sign. On the positive side of this energy with the sun rooted down by Ace of Swords, it's sort of like you get amazing new ideas this time, and it's time in the second week of November to get good ideas based off of positive feedback or based off of positive intentions versus your response or reaction to negative stimulus. Okay, wonderful time to actually be inspired by something real and to also be in the sun to see things for the way that they are. As I've said, like Jupiter and Scorpio, you can't be delusional right now. You can't have false ideas of the way that things are unless you want to continue cycles of very deep pain and negativity, where you sort of have to wake up and you have to see things for the way that they are, and that becomes an ego thing for you, where it's sort of like, I saw things for the way they were, and now I know the truth. Watch out for things like that, Libra. You don't need that anymore. You can know the truth without having to go through the big process. You know what I mean? Third week, you guys have the Hermit reversed. You're down by Knight of Wands reversed. Taking some time to recharge, taking some time to rejuvenate yourselves, not being creatively all over the place. I feel like you've sort of had a lot of creative impetus lately, a lot of creative energy, a lot of creative thrust forward. Take it a step back a little bit. Polish what you have, refine what you have. It feels like a really strong month of refining and polishing versus that much like burst or that much thrust of life onto the scene. Although you can do that, I feel like I mentioned that earlier. It happens through polishing this month though, and it's like you already have it there. That's something really strong for Libras. The content is already there. The what you need at its core level is there, but it's like you keep trying to generate that like over and over again in a new guise. Try this time to polish something or to make something really what you've always wanted it to be based on content that you already have. Fourth week, you guys have 2 of Swords. You're down by 6 of Cups reversed. This is kind of an exposing type of energy where you do take off the blindfold, where you're no longer on guard in the same way, where you're not letting the past nostalgia or the way that things were influence the way that things are. And that's actually really beautiful, as I feel that there's so much attention right now on, gaining wisdom from the past, on knowing where you've been, on drawing conclusions based on what happened. That's great, but do we really need to be that affected by it? I feel like affectations have been forming for a lot of people with Jupiter and Scorpio. That's a really emphasized thing, is affectations based on the past, affectations based on what you thought you could be that come into something that never really worked. Definitely see things for the way they are and maybe just start over, start anew. Use the content that you have relating to like businesses and inanimate things, but relating to the past and relationships, start over. You don't have to see things for the way that they were before. I feel like you have a new spectrum relating to this type of thing. Six of Cups reversed does talk to also like maybe having family interaction in a way that it's good, but it's reversed. So it's like maybe staying away from nostalgia or staying away from really powerful family experiences is good in November. So I feel like you've had a lot of that quite recently, or starting anew with your family is also really good during November. Like maybe you've had an experience with your family, and like, I can't handle this. I can't live this way. I can't have my family like this. Start over. Do it new. Start being a new person to who you are with your family, okay? And ultimately getting past feeling cheated, because all of these sort of like mundane psychoses that I feel Libra might be going through has a lot to do with being cheated or feeling cheated by life, being cheated on, and responding to that stimulus. That's why it's so encouraged now to let go of that and to make a new spectrum, because it feels like a lot of what you're basing your life on have to do with difficult negative experience, which isn't terrible, as I feel some signs make that work, but it's not really Libra. Like, Libra is in its most powerful place when it starts over and when it no longer needs perception or discernment in a negative way, if that makes sense. Because discernment and perception are definitely positive things or good things, but I feel like they can also be just as bad as they are good, because negative perceptions and really, really strict discernment lead you to feel very blocked in life. So definitely work on that and think about those ideas philosophically, okay, Libras? And I feel like November will be really wonderful for you in the sense that you are growing and you are becoming much more strong. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, rising sign to maybe get some more validation on what's coming forward if this didn't feel right, because I feel like some of you, if you're having like Scorpio or Leo or Aquarius placements in your chart, it's going to be a very different type of energy. If you guys would like to book a private reading with me, that should be popping up in the center of your screen right now. You can also check out my Fallen Humanity video, which I did as a specific archetype video. If you want to see these readings ad-free with early access as well, you can check out my Patreon page with some other posts and some exciting content there. It's all in the description box. Much love, and I will be talking to you guys soon. Bye.